Welcome students. In this module, we will learn chapter number 3, Diversity in Living Things and their classification. The topics are diversity in plants and structure of plant. Under the topic diversity in plants, we will learn autotrophic plants, heterotrophic plants and insectivorous plants. In the topic structure of plant, we will learn root and stem in detail. Diversity means variety. In this lesson, we will learn variety of living things. Student, when we say living things, what comes in your mind? Yes, we see various types of plants and animals around us. Living things are majorly divided into two groups, that is plants and animals. In this lesson, we will learn various features of different types of plants and animals, and also we will learn their classification. Various types of plants are found in many places around us. Some plants like grass are short, while others like Ashoka tree are very tall. Some plants like seaweeds grow underwater, while some others like lotus float on the water. We find that some plants grow even in desert, for example cactus. Moreover, we find that there is a lot of variety in the same type of plants. For example, different types of roses. We find roses of different size, shape and color. Let us study this variety among plants. Depending on method of nutrition, plants are classified into three types: autotrophic plants, heterotrophic plants and insectivorous plants. First type is autotrophic plants. Plants make their own food in sunlight. Such plants are called autotrophic plants. Autotrophic plants can produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which autotrophic plants make their food using sunlight, water, chlorophyll and carbon dioxide. Majority of the plants are autotrophic plants. For example, pomegranate, hibiscus, mango, sugarcane, etc. Heterotrophic plants. Some plants use other plants for food and are said to be heterotrophic plants. Heterotrophic plants are incapable of feeding themselves. They draw their nutrition from other plants called as host. For example, the dodder plant, which has weak cylindrical stem that coils around the host, as you can see in the picture. After getting the host, dodder plant develops small root-like structures called as suckers. These suckers penetrates the host stem and suck out the food and water. Dodder plant forms a dense web of coiled stems on the host, as you can see in the picture. Loranthus is also a heterotrophic plant that grow on the branches of woody trees, as you can see in the picture. Third type of plant is insectivorous plants. Some plants consume insects and are said to be insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants derive their nutrition by trapping and consuming animals, mainly insects. For example, pitcher plant. A pitcher plant has a modified structure. It has a jar-like body and a lid on the top, as shown in the picture. The jar-like structure is always open, while no bug or insects is sitting on it. Once the bug or insect sits on that jar-like structure, a lid-shaped leaf tightly covers that jar trap. And inside this trap, there is digestive enzyme fluid, which helps to digest the insect and bugs trapped inside the plant. There are around 80 types of pitcher plants. 2 of them are shown in the picture. Let us study structure of plant. The root, stem and leaves are the main parts of plant. Most of the plants bears flowers for reproduction. Flowers are transformed into fruits. Fruits have seeds and seeds give rise to new plant. Let us study the main parts of the plants. Let us start with root. Here is the chart showing various functions of root. The main function of the root is to absorb and transport water and nutrients from the soil. Root hold the soil firmly and anchor the plant. The roots of some plants also store food. There are 2 types of roots, taproot and the fibrous root. A taproot is a large, central and dominant root from which other roots sprout laterally. Typically, a taproot is somewhat straight and very thick, is tapering in shape and grows directly downwards. A fibrous root system is the opposite of a taproot system. It is usually formed by thin, moderately branching roots growing from the stem. The fibrous root system look like a mat made out of roots when the tree has reached full maturity. Let us learn more about taproot. The taproot is good at anchoring the plants into the soil, so preventing them from being blown over in windy environment. Advantages of a taproot include the fact that they do penetrate deep into the soil and so can locate water and minerals deep underground. In some cases, taproot can form a storage organ for food. For instance, carrots, radish, etc. Let us learn more about fibrous root. A fibrous root is a root that consists of groups of roots of similar size and length. They do not penetrate as deeply into the soil as a taproot does, but rather creates a thick network of roots that are good at holding the soil together and hence helps to prevent soil erosion. Advantages of fibrous root systems include that they allow the plant to absorb water and minerals over a large surface area closer to the surface of the soil. Many types of grasses have fibrous root, including some plants like onion. Next important part of a plant is stem. Let us have a look on the chart showing various functions of stem. The height, shape and size of a plant depends upon the stem. The stem carries out the functions of production, conduction and storage of food. In some plants, it has the function of reproduction. It gives support to other parts of the plants. Let us see various functions of stem in detail. The main function of stem is the transportation of water and soluble nutrients from the roots throughout the plant. Plants store their reserve food in different parts such as leaves, stem, fruits, roots, etc. We have seen food storing roots earlier. There are several examples of modified stems which store food, such as sugarcane. Sugarcane is not the fruit. Actually, it is the stem of that plant. There are many plants that use underground stems for storage of food. For example, potato, ginger, etc. As you can see in the picture, potato and ginger are not the roots, but they are the underground food storing stems of that plant. In some plants, stem performs the function of reproduction. This type of reproduction is called as vegetative propagation. Cutting is the process in which the stem of a plant is placed in moist soil or water to generate new plant, as shown in the picture. Plants such as rose, money plants are propagated through stem cutting, where a portion of the stem is placed in moist soil and allowed to root. Let us have a revision of what we have learned in this module. We have learned diversity in plants. We have seen various autotrophic plants, heterotrophic plants and insectivorous plants. Also we have discussed structure of plant. Under that we have seen various functions of root and stem. Students, we will learn some more about plants and animals in next module. Students, I hope you all understood what we have learned in this module. So, complete the given exercise and have a good revision. Thank you.